Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we're back for 2025 quarter 3 update as part of my quarterly series. So what's been going on? The biggest thing really that's been going on is, as you can see now, we have baseboard tops for the fiddle yard side. We also have a track bed all the way around, which is happy days. You might have even noticed we've started to get foam track bed down, which can only mean one thing. Soon we'll have track down as well. So we'll just go through this video, we'll break it down a little bit. I'll show you what's been going on, talk you through a little bit of it, and what we plan to do going forward. So I shall see you in the next section. Okay, so you're now joining us back here at the fiddle yard side. As you can see today, I've decided to plan out just one of the sidings for the fiddle yard, or group of sidings should I say. These sidings are for the up slow. So again, as alluded to in my previous episode of this series, for those that don't quite understand railway terms, so if this is your first term hearing that, the up direction is always towards the capital. In this case, in the United Kingdom, which includes the amalgamation of Scotland and Wales. For this I'm going to exclude Northern Ireland, because if during the 50s and 60s you could have a train run direct from London to Belfast, fair play to you, but the Bristol Channel might have got in the way of that. So in this case, a up train would actually be coming from somewhere like Edinburgh, Glasgow, Newcastle, Doncaster, Darlington, that sort of way, and ironically would be heading down the country. And trains going in the down direction would actually be going up the country towards Edinburgh, Newcastle, Grantham, Peterborough, stuff like that, from the cross, King's Cross basically. So I'm just starting to plan these sidings out. For the up slow and the up fast, it's going to be a bit more of a difficult process, because I don't have as much room as what I did on the up. On the downside, I have a lot more room. I mean, like the down slow, its sidings can near enough be done in just one siding, and it literally start from over there and just be a series of a loop, a pair of sidings, two big loops with some off-on switches, and I just pull one train forward whilst I simulate a station stop. Or I can have a button that I press and hold down whilst it's a goods train trundling around to allow the next train up into the isolated section. Whereas here, they would actually have a separate isolating section, because it could only hold one train per siding. The planned siding length, again, it's my two Arctic sets and an A23. Realistically, the A23 and the A22, as you see here, you wouldn't see them on the slow lines unless they are on a running intern or something. You just wouldn't see them on there. This one here, a proper mixed traffic Pacific, she'll be pulling the Cliff Huntington's cement train, which is, if anyone's watched Little Bison would know, it's a very long press flow hopper train that ran from Cliff in Kent to Huntington, wherever that's to, and these engines were some of the most reliable pulling that service. The A22, again, a proper mixed traffic Pacific. Anyone that knows their locomotive history, this is straight out an Edward Thompson loco. This was formerly the mighty P2 from Gresley, now a 462 instead of a 282. This loco, you'll mostly see her on semi-fast through expresses, the odd occasional slow passenger train, and also quite commonly it'll be a fish train or some sort of fitted goods. if anyone's curious about the weathering on this particular locomotive, it's a Hornby locomotive which has been weathered by Steve Croucher of Neville Grove. If you haven't checked this channel out and checked his miniature works of art out, I thoroughly recommend you do. That's a Hornby loco, that's a DJH kit built locomotive, and that's one of their new 9Fs with the Westinghouse equipment on it, if you're wondering. As we come over to the 9Fs line, this is literally meant to be for a long goods train, whether it be a mineral train or not. It's just for a longer goods train or a longer passenger train. I have actually experimented with that siding. I can get an A22 and a 5-coach express in there quite happily. I'm hoping in the fullness of time, when I start on the up fasts sidings, that I could potentially get 5 or 6 coaches in there with an engine. Hoping for 7, but I think that's going to be a bit of a stretch. The slow line, I'm hoping to have 5 roads, but that's 5 sidings, no through line. On both the down and up fasts, I'm hoping for 2 storage sidings with 1 through road base, and that will hopefully allow then if I want to just let trains run for a day. The theory is that these slower lines, they'll be going slow enough just to allow trains to trundle on through, minding their own business and getting on with it. Meanwhile, the faster lines, that's where you'll see most of your non-stop stuff anyway. So that's where. But the outer 2 sidings here for the slow lines, I'm planning on putting a crossover in here, which would then allow me to share them between the up fast as well. And that'll be where you see trains like your fully fitted Frisch train and stuff like that, as well as some trains that will probably start on the up slow, or sorry, start on the up fast. They'll run through the line along here, and then they'll reach here where they'll cross over onto the slow, into here. They'll come through the station, perform a station stop, carry on, back out there, and then back into their respective road. Latterly, they could always go out onto the up fast and then come along through here from a crossing from there and stay on the up fast for all of their journey. So it will also give the up fast 2 extra trains, as well as the 2 on its dedicated lines. Down fast will be much the same. It'll be 2 sidings, 1 through line, and then in a rarity, the down slow will also have a through line, with the hope that again that can pair up, as I can use that siding to, if I wanted to say stage a passenger train there or something, it can then go between the 2 lines. It just gives me a way of swapping trains over from one line to t'other and back again quite happily in the passage, during the passage of a sequence of running. So that's basically what I'm doing at the minute. I'm just carefully and gradually working through the fiddle yard. It's going to take a bit of time to do, so at the minute my main focus is getting the track beds laid for the scenic section. Once the track beds are laid for the scenic section, it gives me an idea where my entrances and exits are going to be for the fiddle yard, and it gives me some concrete ideas of where I can actually put points and start to make it so I can get as much storage in these sidings as possible. I haven't yet eroded the possibility of potentially having a kickback siding or 2. So if I can squeeze a through road here on these slow lines, I will try to. Particularly up there in that corner where there might be a bit of wasted space, maybe I could put a few light locomotives and guards vans up there. and that can then replicate trains that are on their way to Darlington, Doncaster, Ardsley, wherever, for repair. And again, latterly, the same with this area here. I'll probably put a few storage sidings for light loco moves, because one thing I'm going to try and do is make sure most of my locos have movable lamps. So yeah. So, as we get into the 10-minute mark now of this section, we'll call it a close, and then I'll give you an update as to what I've been doing in the meantime, other than this, to keep me busy. So we shall see you in the next section. So, during the time to keep me busy, I've been doing a little bit of different modelling. So I've been modelling aircraft and doing some motor gauge bits and pieces whilst I've been away. So we'll just take you up here. So the main one I've been working on is this. It's another 124 scale Spitfire alongside this one. The Flying Dray Spitfire that Airfix is done, complete with those beer barrels. Just something to do whilst the weather was a bit too hot and a bit too crap to get out here into the shed to do stuff, and also whilst a bit of motivation was lacking. The other thing I've done is obviously I had to clear way for the other Spitfire, so this Sea King is now like it's in the air. And again, it's just O-gauge bits and pieces really that I've been working on. So I'll take you over here. I've been working on this K1 again, sorry, and also the big Britannia. Other than that, it's more a case of getting down and getting on with it. I've also been working on that big Mustang at the back there, just weathering it up. During the course of this video today, I took a break whilst filming. I've started to lay a bit more of the bits and pieces now for the fiddle yard, for the track bed for the fiddle yard, and I've also just toned down some of the weathering on my Arctics. I've sort of tried to bring out the red again. If we just reach over here and I grab you one of these, well, actually don't need to, you can see just how heavily weathered they were. I've started there on this coach to do the same, as you can see, just as a comparison of how heavily weathered really they were and how over the top they were. And I would say now that's really brought those coaches out. And a Garter Blue A4, because why not? So, that being said, there isn't really a lot more that I need to bring you up to speed with in this quarterly update regarding the shed and the railway. The next one will be December. I'll probably put it to the December to January period. It'll probably be in that time between Christmas and New Year, if I can get the time to. If not, it might be before Christmas, and that might be when the Christmas message and all that lot, the Christmas video, gets done as well at the same time. Only because my job, I'm a binman, I'm going to be very busy that time of year clearing up after everybody. The garden waste department, which I'm in, it's pretty much dead and gone over the Christmas period, so we go on and help pick up all the excess card and glass and everything in our little dust carts, whilst everyone, to help save the recyclers a bit of room, because obviously that time of year they're going to be very busy as well. So unless anything major happens and any real progress gets made, this will probably be the last video until December. I would like to point out that Woodford Vale Woodford Vale updates number 19 is in production at the minute. We're about 10 minutes in. I'm just catching up now. All the footage is in there, all the photos are in there. I'm just catching up with the texts. In regards to stuff like the Woodford Vale series and the running sessions, they will very much be the old school, the old way of doing the videos, i.e. text over music, over running footage and videos and pictures. But a lot of what you see, like updates like this, bits that aren't necessarily anything to do with Woodford Vale series, you'll probably see a bit more with me talking in them, for better or for worse. So yeah, going forward, it's just get my head down, crack on laying this fiddle yard really. Once the fiddle yard track bed's laid, then the paintbrush will come out and I'll paint up all of the remaining board in grey. At the minute, it's just a lot easier for me to sort of plan it and trace the track bed down onto this, so that's what I'm doing. So until next time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching, and we shall see you all again in the next video. Take care and goodbye.